welcome to the Detroitcast. Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. Hello, Jay.
Gentlemen.
How are you, my friend?
Very well, thank you.
Good, good. I am still cold. Took a step outside, so I'm freezing now. My garage door wouldn't even close. And I don't know, you weren't here for the windstorm, were you? Were you in Florida for the windstorm?
I don't. Oh, no, I was here, dude. Yeah,
it
kept me up a couple nights in a row. Yeah.
Did you see it rip the door off the hinges in the back? You know that like, I don't know what closet, you just put pool supplies and shit in that one. You go out the backyard to the left, ripped the door right off the hinge. It's hanging by one hinge.
Wow.
So T-Roy and Ease just went out there and kind of T-Roy screwed it back into place. But it was like, that looks good.
It's good to have a man in the house.
Oh, it sure is. It sure
is. A man roaming about.
Yes. Want to say congratulations to J. Chris Newberg. The new podcast is up and rolling, available on iTunes. It will start to it'll start to go around and circulate and then be picked up by the other podcast apps. Jay, I know you had a lot to do with getting that going. And 5
episodes are up, so go get them. They're good.
They're very good, and I'm, he hopes, his big hope is that will anyone listen to this? Can you guys get me two listeners this time? Instead of the 2 I could get by myself.
They're relatively short, tight,
36 minutes ish.
Yep.
I have not heard. I've been too busy. I haven't listened to the last 2, 4 and 5. You just put those up today.
Yeah.
But I listened to the first 3 and I fucking loved them, man.
Yeah,
I really did.
It's called Heroin Has a Great Publicist.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea behind it, the theme behind each one is that people do fucked up things, but they keep doing them.
Yeah.
Things we do that are fucked, but we do them anyway.
Yeah.
That's the
like
idea.
Heroin.
Heroin. Heroin must have a great publicist because it's fucked up and people
it works and it still happens. But I was pleasantly surprised, man. Overly. I knew he'd do good. That's why we reached out to him in the first place. But I was really happy with like how quickly he got it and just
he's been doing, like I said, I listened to his other one. He knows what he's doing.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, and you did like his other one. So did I. He's kind of quirky in his own way, but he's self-deprecating. He's not the hero and he's not the villain. He's just kind of honest and great storytelling. And he's led a way more interesting life than I even realized. You know what I mean? Like, I've known Chris for a long, long time, many, many years. And I know a lot about him, and he's made me laugh off the air as much as on. And his stand-up has gotten really good. I mean, he's touring the world now with Russell Peters, who's, they're doing stadiums and shit.
Right.
And this podcast, we were working it out and talking behind the scenes a lot about what to do, how to do it. And so it kind of gave me the illusion that, fuck, maybe he's not confident in what he's doing. And then he drops these episodes. I'm like, dude, what the fuck, man? These are great.
Yeah.
They're just great. And
yeah, so go subscribe on Apple Podcasts.
Please do. And listen to them. I guarantee you, if you've got 30 minutes, 35 minutes, take the time and listen to them. I guarantee you'll like them.
Leave a 5-star review.
Please do. I did. I left him a 5-star review.
I saw that one.
And if I find that one of those episodes starts slipping and that show starts sucking, I will drop that 5-star rating review to a 4.
If I find or hear the individual that has said that about me, I will pull your goddamn tongue out of the roots. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's interesting, man. I forgot to tell you, Jay, when we were talking about New York yesterday, because E and I were in New York over the weekend, and we were like looking for something to do after the Cumia and Dave Landau show. And I was like, oh man, I really want to go to the Cellar, the famous Cellar, comedy club, and all the shows were sold out all night. And so it was like, the Gotham Club is a legendary club as well. And we went over there, and they were doing this taping thing, like it was presented by Oculus, the VR headsets, virtual reality. And so we get there and they put E and I in the front row. And so I'm like, okay, I'm sitting, we're at a table. And so E is sitting, you're the comic on stage, and here's E right here. You can imagine what that's like for the comic. And I'm sitting here, and then there was another couple.
He's just staring up at him.
Yeah, he's got his beer. Yeah. And they're really stressing because there's like people are doing virtual reality. I guess this is like Oculus.
By the way, this has just because you mentioned the VR. I also did the tour of the Madison Square Garden, and they had a point where they do a VR thing with you. I haven't seen any of this shit, so I know people. It's not completely new, but they do a part where they like you put on the glasses and they like, here's what it's like to be at a Rangers game. Then the whole takedown. Now here's a Knicks game. Now here's a concert. They happen to do Billy Joel. It's incredible, dude. Holy fuck. Dude,
I've heard that. I've also heard that some of it's lame as shit. So I don't know what.
But
I don't know what it is.
Isn't 90% of it now just tied to porn?
Probably.
And won't it
Isn't it the
90%
point?
be in the future?
Well, any new technology, it's like, okay, give us 10 minutes of what it's supposed to be used
Beta
for.
test this shit in porn.
Well, no, they're like, well, this is going to save people a lot of time and money and
Doctors,
blah, blah, blah.
medicine, the medical uses of these.
Oh, through the roof with possibilities. The future is here, folks. And then it's like, 5 minutes later, we've learned how to fuck with it.
I agree. I totally agree. It's just like human
You got this. You got it.
robots, the sex robots. We all know that. But all I'm saying is, like, I was sitting there and they put it on. They had you place them on, and I was like, holy fuck, dude. I mean, you could literally just turn around. I was like seeing people in the fucking
Did they have you like on the court and on the ice? Or
no, it was actually kind of scary because they had us like way up, like in like how there's those things at the JLC. No, the LCA now, like those
the gondolas.
Gondolas. They had it kind of like that. And then for Billy Joel, they have you like start in the back, and then like all of a sudden you're walking, and this guy, you see that. I also realized, dude, this guy's walking us up behind the stage.
Must be in the front row.
Right, he's playing Piano Man, and then pretty soon you're on the freaking stage.
Were you reaching out trying to grab Billy?
Bill, I love you, Bill. I saw you in Chicago. Did you see me in the crowd?
I was looking to my right, dude, and the drummer's fucking doing his thing and shit.
Cool.
Dude, that is pretty sweet. That is pretty sweet.
Anyway,
so when we're sitting there, we're not wearing goggles or anything. And by the way, that's what it's gonna end up like, Jay. We're gonna the days of like your mom walking in and seeing you like masturbating in your bed, like for kids coming up, it's gonna be parents gonna walk in,
big goggles
kids
set
gonna
on,
have a guy, and he's just like fucking humping air, coming in his pants.
Oh man,
that's what it's gonna be. We're just gonna use it to bang.
That's where we're headed.
Yep. And so they're like, this is going out live to all the Oculus TV stations. I don't know what that is exactly. So people all over the world were wearing VR headsets and
Sitting
watching
with you in the club. Wow.
While the thing was live. And so before they start, there's a warm-up comic, and he's great. And he comes out, but they really want you to be hyped up and, don't be afraid to clap and laugh loud. And, we really want to blow this thing up because we're live on all over the world and da-da-da. And so they got lucky. They had E in the front row. And there are times E's doing spit takes with his beer, like legit. He's got shit falling on his face. And the comic said, "There's like, did you just spit all over the?" Okay, wow.
Hey man, they were funny.
5 minutes later, there's like, oh, okay, this guy again. Well, oh boy.
Well, what he said was
he became part of the set that night.
And I wasn't trying to be.
Just
but
I know.
Leaving fluids all over New York floors.
What he said the second time was, dude, do you want to keep any of that $15 Bud Light in your mouth or not? I'm like, dude, I don't know. You're funny, man. I don't know.
And then, so afterwards, I was talking to a couple of the comics, they're kind of milling about in the lobby, and they're like, man, I got to tell you, that guy in the front row, that guy was great. What a perfect fucking audience. I'm like, yeah, he's with me. That's E.
He's a pro like you guys.
If it's good, I love to laugh. I mean, it's so awesome to laugh. And those guys, I mean, holy shit, it was discouraging. honestly,
he was bummed. They were so talented. It's like, dude, you're in Midtown Manhattan. What do you think the comedy scene is going to be like? I understand,
but still, man, to have 5 or 6 guys in a row and do 7 to 10 minutes of just boom, boom, boom. Just
well, at one point, even to E's point, there was a 24-year-old black guy who gets up there. His name's Ian. You don't see. He's like, I know. My parents named me Ian, different. And they wanted me to be able to take job interviews. So, but he's like, I'm a millennial, and I'm like, oh, black millennial, 24. Fuck. He was dynamite, and he kind of ragged on the whole millennial thing. And there was a table behind us, dude, with 20 kids.
Yeah.
Who maybe were first year college. I mean, they looked young as shit. He's like, I see all the millennials are here today with their, their, what do you say, psychology professor. And there's one guy in the end sitting with got a beard.
Dude. Yeah.
Psychology professor brought him here. And but they were great. The kids, I was like, oh shit, table full of these fuckers that are gonna get offended at every joke. But they didn't. They were great. They really were. It was kind of funny, but I don't know if we can see that somewhere, E, if we can.
I can look for it.
Look up that Oculus experience. I wouldn't mind seeing how E came off on camera because they had to zoom in on him a couple times.
Well, it was on. I think it was on. Unless the club was just promoting it. It might have been on that Viceland too, because they had Viceland little flyers all over that fucking club. So I don't know if it's also on that internet channel kind of thing.
Did they say the experience would be from on stage with the guy or just off stage?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm assuming you're wearing the things and you're looking at what the camera is looking at. So probably you'd be like an audience member.
Front and center. Just
And maybe they've got cameras everywhere. So maybe when you turn like E, I could see the drummer. And then Billy,
right.
when they turn, maybe they could just focus on E if they wanted the whole time and just like watch that guy that keeps spitting his beer out. Yeah, it was fun, man.
That's crazy though.
It's cool. It was cool.
I was asking a guy before, because that club happens to be like Gaffigan and Seinfeld will show up, and he's like,
wow.
dude, he had showed up the set before we were there.
No
like,
way.
Yes,
Seinfeld did. Yeah, Gaffigan was there the night before. Well, we asked Landau. He's like, yeah, I get, because his club is usually that one. He does Gotham a lot in New York, and he was like, yeah, but I get it. The Cellar, that's one. You listen to the Opie and Anthony guys. All those comics were there, so I get it. But it was sold out, and I was like, so is Gotham worth going? He's like, fuck yeah. He said, you never know who will be there. He said Seinfeld and Gaffigan are there all the time. He said you could run into them, and it just so happens we missed Seinfeld by about a half hour.
Oh my God.
Yeah, which would have been cool. But
hey, speaking of beer, gentlemen, at every Twin Peaks, you will find wall-to-wall TVs, scratch food, and the signature 29-degree beer. Served by the best-in-class Twin Peaks girls. Welcome to your new local spot for sports and scenic views. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic vieys.
boy, they take that seriously too. That 29-degree beer thing.
Oh, I thought you meant the scenic views.
Oh, and the scenic views. Yeah, and make no mistake about that. Dude, I was talking to them about it, and it's like Corey was telling me.
They freeze the shit out of those mugs.
Yeah, I was like, well, can't you just bring the beers? Because they were bringing like mixed drinks and stuff. I'm like, well, just bring some beers over. He's like, can't guarantee it'll be 29 degrees. I'm like, we'll let it slide, man. Just bring some fucking beers
Someone
over.
sitting there with a goddamn thermometer, just like,
know,
this
like,
is 30 degrees.
They're like, God damn it. They're like the process they've gone into to
like little iceberg will float up.
Yeah, to regulate and make sure that shit is at 29 degrees when it hits your
nothing
table.
like a cold brew, gentlemen.
I agree. Sad day today, Jay. Sad day today. Jay.
Down goes the Kong.
Oh, the Konger. If I would have given you, if I would have said Jay, is alive or dead, King Kong Bundy. Coin toss?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
I think I would have gone dead.
Given the girth of that man,
yeah,
I probably would have gone dead as well.
Yeah.
The size of that neck.
Oh, that bald head and that neck and that little.
He was one of the few to wear the singlet, the actual wrestling singlet.
They reference how he purposely wore it too tight, like too small a singlet,
so
and he
gross.
did. He did look
Looks
so
like an
gross.
egg, man.
Yeah. 6'4".
Look at that guy.
Yeah. Wow. 458 pounds. I mean, what is that? Do you know offhand, what the stats, the size of like Andre the Giant were? No. Is he way bigger than King Kong Bundy? Because that seems like a big ass man. 6'4", 458.
That's probably Andre was taller, I would guess, but yeah, that's a lot of girth, man.
It's a lot of man. Not terribly defined.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't say defined. Yeah,
like cut wouldn't come to mind.
No.
They list him as 7 foot, 520 pounds.
Oof. Yeah, that's big boy.
Although 7 to 7'4", 520 pounds.
Yeah. He was famous for the avalanche splasher. Do you remember that, where he would smother people?
Yeah.
To pin them. Where you what is that, like you pancake? They just can't get up because you're so heavy.
Basically, just pancake them, and they'd be underneath, just writhing.
Yeah,
that's what I recall.
Yeah. 61 years old, not bad for a pro wrestler to make it to 61. We're learning that these guys don't live as long as you would hope.
They live pretty hard, man.
Do you think
in and out of the ring?
Do you think had he stayed with his actual God-given name, his birth name, Christopher Pales, that he would have been the same wrestler and had the success that a young King Kong Bundy did? Christopher Pales.
That's a great name, King Kong Bundy.
Yeah, it is.
Super good. I'd say top 10, right? He's his top 10 name. Wrestling
as a name, that's a pretty damn good name for
King
sure.
Kong Bundy.
Yeah,
Do you mean as far as like just the coolest name?
Yeah, just cool name.
Okay. I was thinking, wow, would he be up there as far as like the all-time greats go? King Kong Bundy, he's a heel, right? He was a bad guy.
Dude, I have no idea as far as
probably that like everybody, he ebbed and flowed with that, but I knew him as a heel. He was a bad guy when the few years I was watching.
Yeah, he was famous for he would pin people and they would make the referees count to 5. Because fuck it, he to prove how badass he was.
Oh, there we go. Hell yeah.
Isn't that kind of cool, E?
That is kind of cool, actually.
He defeated SD Jones. I don't remember SD Jones, but if you would ask me, match King Kong Bundy versus SD Jones, who's gonna win? I'm gonna go Bundy.
Who the hell is SD Jones?
Exactly.
I have no idea.
The only way SD Jones has a chance against King Kong Bundy is if he's going by Christopher Pales. At the time,
Really?
So he beat him in the first ever WrestleMania in 1985, and then went on to challenge Hulk Hogan for they say WWE Championship the next year at WrestleMania, but that's WWF, right?
It was. Well, they changed. They changed, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
well,
but
yeah,
it would have been
obviously.
WWF at the time for sure.
Yeah.
Didn't Hogan slam both the Giant and King Kong?
I know he slayed the Giant.
I think
his
he's
yellow
I
boots.
think he slammed Bundy too, man.
Did he really? See, I'm sure a Bing machine would tell us that. So he at the time, he's talking shit, probably to Mean Gene Okerlund. He's talking about Hogan kind of being soft before WrestleMania 2.
Did you say that was WrestleMania 3 in Detroit? Were they?
3 was in Detroit.
Yeah.
That's the big one.
That's where they met, Hogan and Bundy?
Mania 2.
Okay.
So Mania 1, he beats SD Jones, who couldn't see that coming. But then he gets this championship fight at WrestleMania 2 against Hogan. And he says Hogan would rather stand outside a supermarket and sign autographs for kids. Oof.
It's tough.
Yeah, he'd rather go visit an old folks home than get in a ring with anyone in my family. And then Hogan won.
The Pale family?
Yeah, the Pales. The Paleses. Merry Christmas from the Paleses. You can picture their card. So, yeah, he ended up losing, even though he was talking shit. But that's some tough talk, man, about Hogan. He kind of saying you're just like basically soft,
That's some shit talk right there.
Yeah, you're a shopping mall character. You'd rather sign autographs and put the work in the gym, So he semi-retired and then made a comeback in the late 80s and made a comeback in 94 as part of the $1 Million Corporation. That's Ted DiBiase's team, right?
It's gotta be.
I mean,
Yeah, it is.
No one else is taking on the $1 Million Corporation. You'd be insane. And then I see he had guest appearances. Oh, did he slam him?
I'm looking at it. I don't know. This is a match.
I'm pretty sure, man.
If you think so, you would remember that, Jay.
Because it was remarkable. It was like, holy fuck, this guy's almost 500 pounds.
It doesn't. Oh, just the leg drop was all. The leg drop.
I know.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. It does kind of look soft now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
That's the finishing move.
Yeah.
A leg drop, not even off like a top rope, just like off the normal.
It had to start somewhere.
I suppose.
Had to start somewhere. It was coming out of gymnasiums and fucking school gymnasiums and stuff. So, yeah, he was on Married with Children.
I vaguely remember that. Yeah.
Really? Do you remember what he must have played a wrestler? Maybe.
Maybe Bundy himself. I don't know.
So back then in sitcoms, you would be like a wrestler, as a wrestler coming on, or you'd be like something way out of character, like a teacher, in a high school or something.
Yeah, but they did those appearances. Like I remember Lance Parrish was on Different Strokes.
Was he on with?
And he was Lance Parrish. It was like
Okay.
the boys ran into him and Dudley. They weren't at the bike shop. Instead, they were down at the local little league or something.
Okay.
There's Lance Parrish giving him, life lesson.
Was Tram? Was it just?
It was
Lance
two of
solo?
them, man. I think it might have been Tram too.
Because wasn't like Bill Lambier famously one of the Martians in?
One of the
Twilight Zone
Sleet Stacks in Land of the Lost.
Yeah.
As a kid, he grew up in Hollywood or whatever.
Yeah. And so he's tall as shit, obviously. So he's playing the green Martian.
Chaka no go. The guy chasing him.
Yeah. And they used to do that. I mean, the Harlem Globetrotters would make appearances on the island with Gilligan.
That was talk about jumping a shark.
Yeah.
Harlem Globetrotters on Gilligan's Island.
I know. And they got off there too. Fucking Skipper was worthless. Fucking worthless. I'm sorry. And so our guy Scott Ian was on Married with Children too. Remember that?
Yeah.
So do you have video of him on Married with Children at all? I wouldn't mind seeing.
Kind of a long clip, so I don't know how much.
Yeah, we can just get a feel for it.
See what kind of actor he is. Here he comes in his singlet.
He's playing the Bundy.
Kelly, that's him. That's the guy I need to get the picture with to get into No Man.
Yo, Cole, how they clanging, man? I'm madder than mad. I'm freaking bananas.
Whoa, settle down.
Apology just backed out of our match. That sissy Mary says it's cloudy and my solar car won't start.
Don't tell me he's gonna wrestle Bud Bundy
Excuse
dressed up
me,
as
sir.
a bumblebee.
I was wondering if I could get a picture with you. It would mean a lot to my brain dead father.
Sure, kid. I do a lot of work on behalf of the stupid.
Boy, these sitcoms.
Yeah.
I don't remember King Kong, the wrestler, really talking that much. Maybe I'm wrong.
No.
Maybe he did the the same shit all of them did.
Yeah, he
Looking
had
at the
to
camera,
have. Yeah,
talking shit.
so he had to have earned his chops with.
I just thought he was one of those guys who was, just kind of like, whoa, holy shit, here he comes, and he just kind of march into the ring and do his business.
Yeah.
But Isis, you have any recollection of him being
Dude, I didn't.
You really don't remember him, huh?
I don't watch that. I didn't start watching wrestling until 2006. So all this stuff is, and I'm not a historian. So
Yeah. Well, no, you're right, Jay. There were certain guys that were just like hams for the camera. Macho Man and Hogan, obviously. Ted DiBiase is a good one. But guys like George the Animal Steel, you didn't see doing a lot of interviews. He was a smart guy too. But
local guy. He died a year or two ago.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
The Green Tongue.
Oh my God.
Oh, I just loved it. I think he was a school teacher around here.
Absolutely.
We do not have a cause of death yet for Mr. Bundy. I'm assuming it's heart related, isn't it? Usually, sort of heart related.
Looking at the egg-like nature of his body, it had to be tough.
Yeah, he was one that sued. There were like 60 wrestlers that tried to sue the WWE, claiming the organization failed to protect them from concussions and has led to long-term brain damage. But a judge threw that out. I don't know. I mean, that probably just opens up too many doors. If you set precedent saying guys can sue for millions of dollars, I mean, everybody knows that sport is bad for your head. Any contact sport like that. Excuse me.
Taking a folding chair to the head, it's not good, man.
No, it sure isn't. The new Forbes list came out, Jay. Where did Kylie Jenner make $1 billion fucking dollars? Can you believe she's
modeling and Instagramming, huh?
Dude, I guess it's the Kylie Cosmetics line that she has, and she says, make no mistake about it, it's the social media reach I have. Period. She overtakes Zuckerberg as the youngest self-made billionaire ever. She's 21. He was 23 by the time he made $1 billion with Facebook.
Look, I am not being a hater, but would you count her as a self-made billionaire? I mean, she comes from Kardashian.
I know. No one in that family is a billionaire yet.
Really?
She's the first one in that family to be a billionaire.
Shit.
She's the youngest, too.
Well, I'll say this, dude. I like her a million times better than I like Kim. I mean, I think Kim is the worst in that family, even though she became at the beginning the most famous. She's adult. She's not fun. She's not entertaining to me. She's not good looking to me.
Too, dude. I'm sorry. She always kind of was.
Dude, you watch that show too, and she'd be like, she didn't like these appearances. Here'd be like, oh, see her at the fucking Vegas nightclub, and she wouldn't fucking care to fucking be there for 5 seconds. It'd just be like at the top waving at people.
Yeah, but Kim took one for the team for all of them.
She fucked that black guy.
Yeah, she did.
Ray J.
And I mean, the rumor is that her mom
essentially prostituted her.
Yeah, sold her out. Like, hey, we can make this work.
Mom was genius in that regard.
Yep. Kylie, by the way, has 100% stake in this cosmetics company. 100%.
Wow, man.
And their mom's already like, well, we wouldn't rule out selling. I mean, she could sell. And it's like, dude, you're sitting. Wow, it's incredible. So yeah, she started that in 2015, and she's worth $1 billion now.
So she's Kris Kardashian and Bruce Jenner's kid.
You just named her.
Right.
God damn it, Jay.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
and then
Bruce had a kid with Kim, with Chris, yeah. And so, yeah, technically, I think you can say Bruce in that instance.
Are there others in that group who are also from those two?
They were twins, right? Kylie and
Kendall.
They're twins?
I thought so.
Oh, okay. Twins.
No. Well, the two younger ones. They were the kids in the show. I don't know. I would just assume they were twins. I could be wrong. Dude, I do not recognize any of the other names on the youngest billionaire.
All tech.
Is that what it is? Like
guessing.
Alexandra Anderson. Catherine Anderson. I'm assuming their parents did something.
No idea.
Gustav Magner Witzel is worth $3 billion. John Collison, Evan Spiegel, Ludwig Theodor Braun, 29 years old. Wow. But I was looking at the list. You will recognize the names, of course, on here. We've got Jeff Bezos, 131 billion, started Amazon, right? Bill Gates, you remember what he started?
I do.
Microsoft,
yes,
with $96.5 billion. Warren Buffett, he is the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, considered one of the best investors ever. Larry Ellison, he was co-founder of, Oracle was his. And I think he owns one of the teams now, right? Doesn't he own like the Clippers or?
Oh, did he buy it off Sterling?
Maybe.
He's got AIDS.
Zuckerberg, 62.5, started Facebook. Bloomberg, Michael Bloomberg, founder, CEO, and owner of Bloomberg, the financial services. Larry Page, 50.8 million, founded Google with Sergey Brin. Charles Koch, family business started by old Fred Koch. So you got the Koch brothers there at 50 billion. Sergey Brin, 49.8 billion. He's the other co-founder of Google. And so then they've got the women. And it's like, oh, cool. We've got women billionaires lining this list. And it's really cool if you go through the names and see the, the entrepreneurship that has taken hold in
Are they the rightful heirs to
let's see
fortunes?
Here. We've got Francois Bettencourt Myers, 49.3 billion. She is
Meyer or Myers?
Myers, yes, but not Myers, like it's different spelling. She is the daughter of Lillian Bettencourt and her father, Eugene Schuler, who started L'Oreal. Her dad started L'Oreal, so she's made 49.3 billion. We've got Alice Walton. Jay?
Walmart.
Hey!
Give me a W.
She's the daughter of Walmart founder, Sam Walton. Jacqueline Mars, 23.9 billion. She's
Mars
the
brand
granddaughter
candy.
of Frank Mars, who, he was quite the entrepreneur. He started a little candy company out of America called Mars. Yang Huyin, 22 billion. Majority shareholder, 57% of Country Garden Holdings. A stake transferred to her by her father.
Country Garden, what's that?
I don't know. I'd never heard of her or her father. But her dad gave her that. Then you got Susan Clatton. What did she start? She inherited her father's 50.1% stake in Altana, a pharmaceutical company. Daddy also left her 12.5% of BMW.
Oh man.
Yeah. So we got Lauren Powell. You'll know her by her full name, Lauren Powell Jobs. Yeah, she used to blow Steve Jobs for a short period.
Now I get you.
And was co-founder, didn't do it by himself, co-founder of a little company called Apple. We got Abigail Johnson, CEO of Fidelity, was founded by her grandfather, Edward Johnson. So he handed that company over to her. She's running that thing well now. Iris Bontbona acquired her wealth following the death of her husband. So she used to blow a guy named Andronico Luksic Bahara, who founded a huge mining company, one of the world's biggest.
Now I got you.
Gina Reinhart comes in. She's earned herself a fat 15.2 bill. She's the heiress and chairman of Hancock Prospecting, privately owned mineral exploration and extraction company, founded by her dad, Lang Hancock. So just turned the keys right over to her when he was on his way out the door. Kwong Si-hing, wife of the late Twak Tak-sang.
Oh.
So she used to blow Twak Tak-sang. He was the founder of Sung Hai Kai Properties. Prior to her 2008 appointment as chairperson, she had never sat on the board of a company before.
Interesting.
She left 3 years later off the board, so I don't know what happened there, but
Started to dive bomb.
gave it a run. I'll take a
I
run
wonder
at
what those
it.
3 years were like.
Probably not good for everybody there. So yeah, kind of not to sound discouraging, ladies, but there's a lot of heiresses in front of your titles, not a lot of founders. Not as far as I can tell.
I need to knock down those obstacles, Mike. That's just proof, right?
Is that what it is? Is that the problem? We're standing in the way, being dicks,
Well, Mike, how are
hogging all the limelight, starting all the
nothing.
companies.
Well, you
Have to
see,
blow these guys. I mean, these guys are hardworking. They're probably working 80 hours a week, and they,
he
for
knows
her to
what
suck
a dick
these
tastes
dicks.
like. It's gross, man.
Well, it's true, and I think you're making a strong point there. It's like, you know what? If not for that cocksucker Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, maybe Lisa Johnson would have fucking founded.
I'm not saying that.
Founded that.
I'm not saying that.
Apple. You know what I mean?
He's just saying they've straight up earned it.
They've released the stress, man. They're sucking these dicks and taking
All right,
some
I like
gross
where you're going
penises
here.
in there, and so
It's like, oh man, this guy's never gonna fucking complete this whole Google ID he's got unless he blows off some loads. She goes in and does a roll, and she's
Exactly.
entitled to it.
part of the team.
On that note, everybody, check out the Detroitcast listener business page. It's a page under the Help the Show tab on our website, DetroitCast.com. The page includes businesses owned by listeners. Take a look. It'd be great for you to support fellow listeners who support the show. And today's featured listing is none other than Arnold Roofing. Free estimates, licensed and insured, serving Southeast Michigan. They specialize in roofing and gutters. Their end game is customer satisfaction. They've done work over here and done great work.
Would you be excited for a film to come out, not about Serena Williams and her brother or sister? Pretty sure. What's the other name?
Venus.
Venus Williams and her brother Serena. Film about their dad, believe his name is Richard Williams.
Why would I care about a film about their? What do you?
Well, there's a film that they're making, and there's rumor about who's going to be the lead, playing the father, and it's Will Smith. And so some people are really excited about that. Some people are really bummed about that. It's kind of a cool story when you think about it. Like, here's these girls and grew up in Compton.
Oh,
Dad's
sure.
never been
Okay.
a coach in his life, and comes up with like a 64-point plan, starting at 4 years old, and creates the greatest. It's kind of like the Tiger Woods of golf, or of tennis. His dad creates like the greatest, tennis daughters ever. So they're making a movie about him, and so he's going to play Richard Williams. That's what they think now, the father of Venus and Serena. And this rumored casting has already been met with some backlash. Why do you think backlash would be involved with this one?
Is he too big of a celebrity to play the dad? Are they outshadow the daughters, or?
No.
Oh boy.
He's not black enough.
I was gonna say that. Damn it.
Yeah, I know. It's tough. And it's like,
that's not racist.
no, he's just not. And so we've got a new word today, folks. I didn't know this word. Here we go. We're now dealing with something called colorism, and colorism matters. And so I don't know if we're going to have to get the spectrum of colors out on a wheel and just be like, tick, 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 tick.
There's not anything ironic about the progressiveness of this, and it's like, to me, it's like, dude, it's becoming more racist to me. Like they're gonna really put on a color wheel and be like, well,
Oh my God.
Doesn't it just say too, like, oh yeah, being talented as a performer or an actor means nothing. It's like, just match the skin color up. Like what are you saying
Will
when you're
Smith,
when you're
dude.
when you're shitting on Scarlett Johansson because she's not actually transgender? So you should have a real transgender person. It's like, okay, that'll load the theaters. Sure, that'll do it. You can't see how that's a problem for these people. So yeah, he's there. People were saying, what about Idris Elba? He's blacker, or Mahershala Ali. Those would be appropriate. Maybe you could pull up a picture of Richard
I'm not gonna
Smith.
smell that. Can you?
You can't spell
Richard Smith, I can, but
No, Richard Williams.
Okay.
Please tell me you can spell Richard Williams.
Okay. Well, the first one you had never mind.
Yeah, not that those are just other actors.
Okay.
Some have compared this casting to Zoe Saldana's portrayal of singer Nina Simone in 2006 in the biopic Nino, for which the actress wore a little darker makeup and a prosthetic nose.
So that's the real Richard.
Yeah, there he is.
Where's I think we got him compared to Will Smith.
Others have brought up Scarlett Johansson, whose role in A Ghost in the Shell sparked accusations of whitewashing.
I mean,
Is that different from the ones? Wasn't she like ciswashing the transgender movie? Wasn't that?
they have a point. Look at this. I mean, come on.
Do they? I mean, people. I don't even know what to say anymore. Like,
I know,
really,
I'm
like
at a loss.
you- how could you not be at a loss where you're just like, okay, now it's not the
about
right
this.
black actor,
Will
like,
Smith has to address this now. And if he does it,
or do
he
what
might-
Scarlett did and just take a knee, go fuck it, I'm out. I don't
Yeah.
need this shit.
That's
I got
what I would
plenty
do
of
if I were
money.
him.
I don't need your shit.
That's what I would do.
I mean, don't you think that would be an honor for him? Like, holy shit, Will Smith is going to play me in a movie. Will Smith is a blockbuster. Have you seen Will Smith's house?
Dude,
Just Bing image search Will Smith's house.
Like an aerial version.
Yeah.
right now
You
there's-
need to do an aerial version because you can't fucking photo it from anything but an aerial version. It's ridiculous the amount of money he's made from movies like Ali and The Legend of Bagger Vance, Men in Black. I mean, he's been a
Oh my
beast.
God, man.
Yeah. Look at that. Can you zoom in on that a little bit?
Here once, yeah.
I mean, I would love to know what, like, this house, my house, would it be like
The tennis
that-
court.
Yes.
box right there?
Yeah.
Would that be my house?
Yeah. That's probably the gym. Yeah.
So he's got like 60, 70 of my houses and a pool. That pool looks kind of nice.
And he's married to Jada Pinkett, right?
Right.
Too, so.
Are they married? Or are
Oh
they
yeah,
just,
they're,
this
they're
is
in a
something
weird, open relationship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, when you said that like, it should be an honor, you're right. Like, dude, maybe 5 for sure 10 years ago. That's all people do. Like, dude, Will Smith is gonna play me. Holy fuck!
Well, is it the
dude.
guy who's bitching or just some Twitter
Well,
user is bitching?
you know,
Lots of
Johnson.
people are.
Joe
There's,
Johnson.
there's,
At Joe Johnson.
there's writers, authors that are
Uh.
bitching, like sports writer Clarence Hill. Colorism matters. I love Will Smith, but there are other black actors for this role.
who have darker skin.
Yeah, I know. But it only takes a couple of these assholes to throw this
Is
stuff
this
out
a
there.
real writer who's saying like this is real?
Yeah.
This isn't just some bullshit.
Sports writer Clarence Hill Jr.
Okay.
He's talking about
I'm
the
binging Clarence Hill Jr. See
Yeah.
how legit this guy is.
I'll be honest with you, he's taking a pounding on a lot of the Twitter things. People are just like, "Oh, go fuck yourself, Clarence." Please go
Look at
fuck
this
yourself.
house. Oh my
Is
God.
that Will's?
Yes. Oh my God.
Dude, I swear to God, Jay, if we went over to Will Smith's house today and just like moved into a room, how long do you think before
right.
we'd be found out?
Yeah.
A year?
Can you
at
zoom
least?
in, E, so we can see the
Take
thing
a
bigger?
wing. Yeah, we could take a wing.
Dude, if we just peeled off like the east wing there and just
the pool house.
yeah,
You know?
I'll take the pool
Pull a
house.
Cato.
I mean, if we go in there with a lawnmower
Look at
and a
that.
bandana, just like, "Si, senor, mowing the lawn," and then we just got halfway done, ditched the mowers, and just crashed into one of these wings over here.
That is so insane.
I wonder what the value of that is. I mean, seriously.
Square footage, does it say?
I'll try to find it. I guess.
Clarence Hill Jr. Okay, he's on Facebook and Twitter.
Oh, that doesn't count as sports writer. No. He better have an illustrated.
He's in Fort Worth, Texas.
Ugh.
Uh,
Ms. Smile So Bright had a problem too. Will Smith is about to be the Scarlett Johansson of black movies.
He writes for the Star Telegram in Fort Worth. Does that mean he's just like Detroit news writer?
Yeah.
You know, no, come on.
Is he their Dave Burkett? Did we just fucking read Dave Burkett's tweet bitching about colorism, basically? Is that what we did?
I think so, man.
Star Telegraph's a big enough paper. It's
bigger than the Freep or Detroit News? I don't know.
No, but I mean comparable, I would guess.
Yeah.
I mean that's a name you've heard of. I love Will Smith as an actor, but this ain't it. Sorry, Abel Patson. You're not gonna want to see this movie. So yeah, another guy's like, I don't care if Will Smith is not dark enough for this role. I'm still gonna watch it. Y'all ain't saying nothing when white people play Jesus. That's Joe Fields.
Great point, Joe.
Yeah. Skitty Shine 2254 says, so let me understand that a black man can only play a black man now if he's the right shade of black. So in that case, Denzel Washington should never have played Malcolm X, a black guy with red hair, I believe. Most people would say. We as black people only brings ourselves down. Others pointed to Smith's upcoming role as Genie in Aladdin, and I had a problem with this too. I noticed it right away. He's playing Aladdin, and they fucking, I mean, dude.
Oh, he's playing Genie.
Yeah, he's playing Genie in Aladdin, but dude, he's not in blackface. He's in blueface. He's got blue paint on.
Oh man.
And it's like, what the fuck?
I think Twitter was outraged over his inclusion in that movie. They dropped a trailer a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, there was something about. I don't know why they were mad, but I know people were mad for something.
I think
not fat enough.
It was one of those trailers where the first trailer they don't show the genie, they just allude to it and they make you want more, and then at the very end of the next trailer he appears, and I think everybody was like, "Are you kidding me? He looks stupid. He sounds stupid. This isn't gonna work."
Well, Aladdin's a cartoon that was a play in New York, right? But
Robin Williams. Known as the Disney character, right?
Yes, and then the guy on Broadway was really famous for a while, big fat guy as the genie.
Okay.
And he was making all the rounds and Good Morning America and the Today Show, doing singing pieces, and so people saw that. And then Will Smith, this skinny, tall, black dude, comes in. He's going to take over for Robin Williams and whoever that fat guy was. Oh
man, he can't play a genie. He can't play a tennis dad.
What can he do?
Quite limited, isn't it?
Men in Black. That's all he can do. Men in Black again. They say his upcoming role is the genie in Aladdin, which has caused its own stir thanks to the star's blue tint for the film. What
color?
I don't. What are we? Are they Smurf? Can we get Papa Smurf? Are there Smurfs complaining that the job was stolen from them? I mean, dude, unless there's a disease out there that tilts your skin blue, like yellow jaundice, but a blue version. I don't know what is he supposed to do?
Oh man.
By the way, according to this, it says like his Calabasas home is more like a vacation resort or complex as it spans across 25,000 square feet and 150 acres.
25,000 square. How many acres?
150 acres.
Okay, we are on here.
Calabasas, is that Marin County?
It's not Marin County, you dope. It's 8 hours south. If you take the coast, if you go down the PCH, it should take you a good 8-9 hours to get there. But if you were to take the 5, you might pick up a ticket or two, but you could straight
stop
shoot that
Big
down.
Sur, maybe.
Calabasas is where your favorite show, Nick and the guy from 98 Degrees or whatever, Nick and what's her name?
Newlyweds.
Newlyweds.
Is that what they called it?
Yeah. Was it Nick?
Jessica Simpson.
Yeah, Jessica and Nick lived in Calabasas.
Okay,
that was where
that's
that
where all
home
the celebrities
was.
live is Calabasas.
I know, but that was the first one that kind of put like Calabasas' name on the map, because it was always Beverly Hills and all those other areas, and then Calabasas blew up. I know other people lived there. It was wealthy long ago, but that to me is like, oh yeah,
So
Calabasas.
Will Smith, 150 acres in Calabasas, 25,000 square feet.
Yes, we are. I think that's more. I think he's had additions too. I think that is outdated because I think that looked way more than 25,000 square feet.
This says February 24th, 2018. But
Okay. And this place, this little plot of land we're on now is about 0.8 acres.
Mhm.
So he's got 125 acres.
150.
Oh, 150. Excuse me. Dude, I'm telling you, we could move in.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Do you know the ground is? Because you played this game way more recently than I have, Jay. If you're playing hide and seek, like standard fare issue, like rules of the game, what is it?
You can put boundaries on it.
You can?
Yeah. You can be like only upstairs or only basement and main floor.
So if you had like an extreme version where it's like anything goes, you have to stay on the property, how long would someone have to count before you would feel like?
If you're just dealing with 25,000 square feet, think of that, man.
Yeah. Be a hell of a game, man. I bet we could like a week. Like if we played hide and seek, me, you and Isis, and it was like Isis count to 1,000 and we hide, I bet we could go a week without being found.
25,000.
By the way, in the basic rules of hide and go seek, are you allowed to change your position, or once you have a position are you locked in?
I think it's key that you're changing positions.
Oh, okay. You don't just hide behind like the curtains and stay there?
You wait until you see the person check somewhere and then you go run over there and
I didn't
hide.
know about that.
I didn't know that.
What
kind of whacked out version
I
are
always
you
thought
playing?
you had to have your one
You want to
position.
win, don't you?
I thought you went to a spot and you hid.
You hide, and then when you see the seeker coming, you see them check under that bed, and
Wait
then
a
they leave
second.
the vicinity, and you run and slide under that bed.
I didn't know you were playing hide, stroll away and hide again.
Yeah.
No, dude, you hide while they
I
seek.
thought everybody knew that. It's a
No.
dynamic game, gentlemen.
I had
It's
no.
not static.
I thought it was absolutely static. I'm gonna hide, not hide multiple times to make this impossible to win. I'm gonna hide, and you're gonna seek me
Hide
out.
is not singular.
Ugh.
You hide and then you hide again.
Dude, I want to
can't
check the
believe that.
rules.
Jesus, you didn't even. My God, man.
That's how I thought it was. I thought you hit and then that was it.
Yeah.
You've
Locked in your
never won,
position.
have you, E?
Do you know this for sure? You just standing
Neither
firm.
of you have ever won, have you?
Have you won? Well, yeah, I wasn't hiding in 10 different spots.
Right.
Like you.
Right.
I mean, you're supposed to find an extremely
Loser.
good hiding space, and that's your
Loser.
spot. Just you don't change positions. We need listeners to weigh in on this because I think you're playing some retarded version of hide and go seek. It was like he got caught once and changed the rules.
Everybody
on
knows
Sweet
that.
Pie. He got burned. Never again.
Oh my God.
Will he
man.
lose at hide and go seek?
I thought everybody knew that.
Speaking of pussies, not you, Jay. I'm talking about the pussies, like the guys going, "Oh my God, colorism, it's real."
Yeah.
I read this article someone had sent me, and I just got angry as I read it. One of those, or this comedian wrote a little piece for all of us.
What do?
As a new comedian working the circuit, I'm appalled at disgusting jokes.
I mean, this guy is such a total pussy. It's stunning.
Creeping back into our industry. Last month, I saw Finn Taylor's new stand-up show, When Heresy Met Sally. Huh? It's not bad.
Like it.
It's not a bad title, honestly. Which made light of sexual harassment, the gender pay gap, and the hashtag Me Too movement. His intention might well have been to make us laugh, but I found little to enjoy in this act.
What? So sorry your life sucks so bad.
Dude.
You know? Just going through life just miserable. God damn. Have a sense of humor.
You know what the thing would be? Even you always say that you're like sorry that you're offended by everything. Even if you are, even if you think that that's what's happening, you'd still think you might be like, dude, I could die tomorrow. Do I want to die tomorrow?
I know.
Worrying
man.
that I was
Loosen
Yeah.
up.
like,
Yeah.
like none of it's perfect for any of us. Like we all have our shit. Like
I know. Listen to this as it goes on, and some of this gets so ridiculous. What kind of reactionary drivel was I being subjected to in the name of comedy? Leave,
That's really
dickface.
astounding.
For a while, I sat there, seething.
Yeah.
Seething. Someone said something he didn't agree with, and he was just seething. So yeah, as a room full of doubtless well-intentioned punters were laughing along with this thinly veiled rape apologies. Eventually, I left. Satire is a powerful tool, but male comedians like Taylor taking potshots at women who have had the courage to speak out can hardly be described as punching up.
I could care less.
As a comedy aficionado. Nah, you don't.
Boy.
Nah,
Yeah.
nah, you don't sound like much of an aficionado to me, son. You sound like a toddler. I've seen a disturbing rise in this kind of victim bashing on the circuit over the past few years. It's got to the point where I have to research the acts on any given lineup very careful before booking a ticket.
If you want to pin it on something, pin it on that.
You're never gonna see a comic you want. If you do research like that, you'll just never go to a comedy show. Like,
why are you even attempting?
Right.
It doesn't sound like your funny bone works. So why don't you stop attempting to go?
Your funny bone.
You know what I mean?
Did you have your funny bone removed?
His funny bone was removed. It was a terrible, terrible accident. He takes everything overly serious. He's overly sensitive now. Alt-right comedy. Would you stop pinning everything on alt-right? Alt-right's not even a fucking term. What is that? Anybody that doesn't agree with your retarded politics is alt-right now? Fuck off. Alt-right comedy might sound like an oxymoron, but the immense popularity of internet shit posters like PewDiePie and has persuaded some comedians that there is money to be made from belittling social justice. You got to admit that there's a real funny window there when it comes to social justice.
Oh God, yes.
So there's definitely money
there's
to
no question.
be made there. Speaking as a person of color in an irredeemably racist culture, I am sick of being accused of hypersensitivity by straight white men. You cunts! Who are blind to their own privilege.
You know what, dude? Mike, you talked to this. When we did that extra content, with your what was your lawyer friend for a little bit about a week ago.
Jay?
No. Extra content, 45 minutes on a Saturday night.
Oh, yeah. You talking about SE2K?
Yeah. I listened to that. You guys got into race a little bit, and you kind of talked about being in New York. And I'm not saying this just because we were just there, but again, you're just there, and you're walking around a place of 800, or 8 million people.
Yeah.
And this stuff where someone's sitting here and so concerned and so outraged, and to say that everyone's racist, and when
it's not real life. This shit's
it's
not
just
real life, man.
ridiculous, dude. It's so absurd. And
they're publishing articles, though.
People are going about their business.
I know. It's too bad, man.
Yeah, but we do see the results of when you do nothing and you let this shit go on, and now you've got absolute fucking linebackers, what appears to be a starting middle linebacker in a track meet against chicks.
Call me ma'am.
Like that's really happening. And
I'm obviously a ma'am.
And Jay, you're right. I know
it is ma'am. It is ma'am. Fuck. The growl of that angry lady.
Why don't I have her drop? Drop.
I'll download it today.
We need that.
Yeah.
It is ma'am. It is ma'am.
Jay, I know you're right, by the way.
The best fucking clip ever, dude.
Mike,
you can pull it up again.
Sure. Just one second. Mike gets really on this, he gets a little more outraged. He gets and you try to tell him, dude, that's not real life. That's not. And I know it's not, but it's just it still is so annoying to read this stuff.
It's media. It's real. It's real in the media.
Well, here's
it's
the
just
thing.
not real everyday life.
Sorry, here's where I was trying to go with that. I hate the thought that everybody is just racist. And I was getting ready to go on that Madison Square Garden tour, for example, and I don't even know the situation, but there was a dude who was just doing security in the the lobby, making sure people don't go past the thing. And out of nowhere, these 3 African-American ladies come by, and they clearly know each other. They work together maybe. And now they just start dancing with each other. And it was really kind of beautiful. And it's just this idea that every white dude is just fucking racist is so dangerous and so insulting. And even though
of course it is.
We shouldn't pay attention to some of it, it is hard not to let it go.
There are laws that have been passed stating that if you feel like a woman, the schools in certain states will recognize you as a woman, and they can't do shit about it. These governing laws for scholastic sports are letting absolute middle linebackers hop on the phone.
I could care less.
They don't even shave their mustaches and are taking scholarships from chicks. I mean, it's hilarious. So those are real consequences where it's this isn't real life.
No, I'm talking about the racism, dude.
Racism.
Everybody's racist, and every white guy.
Oh yeah, no, I'm talking about the social justice aspect, the warrior aspect of articles like this. This should be laughed out of a fucking room, but unfortunately, this person, I've seen people apologize for this. It is ma'am. It is ma'am. There are people well, what you don't understand is it's very hard when you're coming out, as a new woman.
You're gonna give me my fucking money.
Oh, Jesus.
Excuse me, sir. There's a young man in here.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
I can call the police if you'd like me to. You need to settle down.
You need to settle down and mind your business, okay? Ma'am, once again, ma'am.
I said both of you.
No, you said sir. Once again, it's ma'am.
I actually said both of you guys. It was general.
Right beforehand, you fucking said sir.
Fucking
motherfucker, take it outside. If you want to call me sir again, I will show you a fucking sir. Motherfucker.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
That's a man move right there. Mm.
I need your corporate number.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to call them and talk about how it's misgendered.
His growl's coming up.
I need your corporate number now.
Pink shoes.
Yeah. Dainty.
Get it for me now.
I'm going to ask you to calm down and stop cussing.
Calm down.
Give me your corporate number. Well, I'm going to ask you for the 5th time to stop calling me a man. Because quite clearly I am not.
I will get you that number. Is that okay?
Yes, get it for me now.
I'm asking you to stop
Get it
cussing.
for me now. I'm not cussing. I'm not cussing.
Okay.
Give me the damn number now. Please.
Ooh. Ma'am, I apologize. I will get you that number.
That's
right
man
now.
angry.
Wow.
Yeah. Is he done?
No, you're just going to keep bumping your gums. You're just going to keep bumping your gums and disrespecting trans people.
Do you think he takes dainty little dumps, little womanly dumps?
Sure.
Yeah. I don't. For some reason I doubt that. So this guy says, what makes white men so blind to their own privilege? What privilege is that we're allowed to go onto an open mic set and say whatever because of freedom of speech? Is that the accusation? Is that what our privilege is? What makes them believe that comedy should just be for them? I don't ever remember thinking that, but okay. The hallmark of a good satirist is the ability to expose the follies of the powerful and the corrupt, not to embolden them at the expense of those of us who are already marginalized. No, says who, ass fuck? What are you talking about? So that's the rule for comedy, is you can only attack people who are well off and elite?
You gotta punch up.
You got to punch up? No, you don't. No, you don't. You can punch stupidity. One would have thought that years of progress, the bullying style of comedy, once peddled by the likes of Bernard Manning, would have been consigned to the distant past. Depressingly, established comics who should know better are doubling down. The overtly transphobic routine in Ricky Gervais's special Humanity is a case in point in which he repeatedly dead-named Caitlyn Jenner and claimed to identify as an ape as a means to ridicule gender reassignment. And it's spectacular. I got to be honest with you, man.
Funny.
It
Really
is
funny.
Funny as fuck. No offense to the pussy that wrote this. It is some of the funniest shit ever. If that means my white privilege is on display.
It's funny as fuck. Offense to the dickhead who wrote that.
Well put. In December, later that year, Dave Chappelle won a Grammy for his shows, which explicitly attacked trans people.
And who also, by the way, rips on white people all the time.
I know.
His friend Chip. I mean, he's all,
yeah.
just that whole white, that
the nerdy white guy. Like, he's perfected the nerdy white guy. In December, the renowned misogynist, I mean, just like we all agree, the renowned misogynist Louis C.K. was heard mocking non-binary identities.
Louis.
I don't even know what a non-binary identity is.
It's all so confusing.
Yeah. And victims of school shootings. No, he was not mocking victims of school shootings. He was mocking 17-year-olds who think that because they were at the site of a school shooting, they now were expert on gun laws. That's what he was mocking. Perhaps it's time for the comedy community to reflect. Danish comedian Sofie Hagen has successfully toured with reduced anxiety performances in which all toilet facilities are gender neutral and audience members can contact her in advance if they have particular needs.
It's full on crazy, man. It's full on crazy.
You can contact her and go, by the way, I dated a guy with blue eyes once, so if you've got anything in there about blue eyes, it'd be very, very triggering. Please avoid that today. Maybe we'll give maybe he's right. Maybe we should give Hannah, what was her name? Spin here. Oh, Sofie Hagen. Maybe we can give her a spin in a second, just see how talented this one is. And yet the likes of Gervais, Chappelle, and CK still fail to recognize that they no longer have to rely on shock tactics to appeal to a modern audience. As role models to a new generation of comics, they have a responsibility to be mindful of the damage they can do to an already divided society. No, they do not have that responsibility. The upcoming generation has a responsibility to find their own voice and then be themselves. Ricky Gervais does not owe them anything. Neither does Louis C.K. Nobody does. In fact, the less information and help they get from those comics, the better off they'll be in the long run, sir. I would go so far as to argue that some of the jokes of late constitute actual hate speech. The government has recently launched its new website to raise awareness of hate crime and hate incidents, in which it is made clear that verbal abuse can qualify as hateful if perceived by the victim or anybody else to be motivated by hostility or prejudice. He wants these people arrested for hate speech in comedy clubs at a university gig. And this is, you tell me if this is funny. He did not find this very funny. I'm kind of on the fence. I don't know where you guys land on this one, but this guy went to a comedy gig at a college, right? I once saw a comedian wrap a towel around his head, make faux Arabic noises, and claim he was preparing for a BBC internship. So he wrapped a towel around his head and went, as I'm preparing for my BBC internship. This guy passed out with, oh my God, this is hate speech. I'm going to die. I gotta be honest, I kind of found that fucking hilarious. I wouldn't say just hilarious, but for a college kid, it needs some work. But dude, the idea that he brought a prop like a towel on the stage to wrap around his head and then just willy-nilly throw out fake Arabic noises, it's kind of fucking, it's not bad. E, would you try that on stage next week?
No.
In Dearborn?
Personally, I would not, but.
You could say afterwards, by the way, I was dared to do this. I'm not plagiarizing this young comic's material. Get you off the hook.
Sure.
I love this. Let's be clear. I believe in freedom of speech.
No, you don't. Right.
Yeah, you should just end it right. That should have been the whole article. Should have just said, I believe in free speech. There you go. Send that to the paper, and they can print that. That's all we need. But I am also adult enough to recognize that this freedom does not extend to making public events unsafe for vulnerable members of society.
Dude.
The latest government guidelines would now seem to confirm that this kind of Islamophobia dressed up as humor should be subject to investigation. That's what we need the feds working on. You know what I mean? There was a comic who put a towel on his head and went, blah, 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 blah.
Who wrote this? Who's the asshole?
I don't know. I fucking, I delete so much shit pictures and stuff. I absolutely, I'll have you Bing the title, E.
Yeah, he needs credit for this.
He definitely needs credit for this. He does. Let's see. It simply isn't good enough for comedians to cry free speech after every hateful joke as though the laws that govern the rest of us don't apply to them. Actually, no, that's where you're wrong, you fucking idiot, moron. The free speech that you're entitled to is exactly the free speech that comedians are entitled to. Just because you took offense to it does not mean that the free speech laws have changed for you or them. You can choose to take offense at something. You can. There's no law that says you can't be offended. The battle for equality will not be won by activists alone. We need all to play our part. Listen up, gentlemen. This is very important, okay? Because we're going to, this is a call to action to all of us.
What's my part?
All right, Jay. Sometimes this will mean risking the accusation of being a prude or a killjoy.
I can't do that.
E, can you do that? At least one of us, because I can't do it either.
Killjoy?
Yeah.
Killjoy?
Or a prude. I'll give you one or the other. Can you be called a prude sometimes?
I'll be the killjoy. You be the prude.
Yeah, should I rather take killjoy?
Those just don't fall for either of you. Prude, maybe you could stick at Jay if you went like, he's not into fucking extreme, weirdo sex.
Be fisted.
Yeah, you don't want to be fisted, fucking prude.
Yeah.
E, you can't call him a prude. He'll fuck a garden hose. But a killjoy.
Yeah.
No, he's not much of a killjoy either.
He kills joy.
Yeah, I suppose he killed the joy that those the managers and security team at the hotel were having.
I'd argue that I create joy.
Such tactics are designed. So this is surely a price worth paying for you guys, okay? Because such tactics are designed to silence us, to make us feel ashamed for standing up for those who might not be able to stand up for themselves. He's talking about the wheelchair community, right?
We're just gonna have a country where it's literally 300 million people, and the government will have to somehow each person will have its own personal one-on-one government. And that will everything will run by you. Everything will run through you. Your taxes will go to only yourself.
It's just me. That's all I care about. This little tiny thing is important to me. And you don't have to do like long division to see where this goes. If you keep winning these tiny little battles and like letting people tag you with, oh my God, he's hate speech or Islamophobic or this, it triggered me. And you got comics taking people's calls like, yeah, make sure you don't talk about this because that happened to me once. We're doing catering to fucking individual audience members now. How about you don't go to comedy clubs until you can fucking get over whatever trauma you went through in life? Because guess what? We've all gone through it. Could you imagine if I went, guys, by the way, it's a little bit drugophobic when, I had an Oxycontin problem at one point. And seeing you do jokes about drugs and stuff is very, very triggering. I mean, that's the level you're talking about. It's like, what does that have to do with the rest of the people? If I'm not well enough to go out in society and comfortable enough, then that's on me, not the rest of you. That makes me the killjoy. I killed the joy of all these people who are going to see a decent comedian tonight.
Well, do your part, Mike.
We'll end on this. It takes, and I just want you to think about this, guys. When you lay down tonight at home, really think about the statement he's about to make. It takes an astonishing degree of entitlement to claim the right to free speech without accepting the consequences of one's choices. In a country poised on the brink of a far-right resurgence, is a cheap laugh really worth the risk? This kind,
yes,
I do like to laugh.
The kind of
laughs are the best.
Gentlemen, it's all fun and games. It's all, we're sniggering about this now.
I know, Mike. But
when you go home and you're alone with your own thoughts, you think about the astonishing degree of entitlement to claim that free speech is without accepting the consequences of it. The kind of jokes that reinforce negative stereotypes and normalize bigotry should no longer be tolerated in our society. This really is not too much to ask.
Mike, I could either write really creative jokes or I could just make these freaking lowbrow jokes and get the laughs, man.
Spoken like a true cis white fucking male.
Christ.
Cis white male, you entitled prick. Selfish entitled prick. Can Jay and I see a minute of that comedian?
Oh, yeah.
Sofie, what was her name?
Something.
Sofie Hagen. So she's the one that has a, what did they call it in the article?
She takes requests,
yeah,
so as not to trigger people.
Yeah. Let me see that because it said something. She's doing this really new reduced anxiety performances. Okay. So these are reduced anxiety versions. If it's funny, laugh.
Hi.
Oof.
Okay, so I'm.
It's already funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna start by mentioning I'm not from your country. I'm from Denmark, and
Stay there.
basically the first thing that happened when I moved here was that one of your people, a British man, he flirted with me. Thank you. And in the process of him flirting with me, I learned a whole new word because he came up to me and said, "Hello, I am a bit of a chubby chaser."
Oh. Whoa. Wow.
That's a word.
Ouch.
That you guys have here. Thank you. For those of you who don't know, a chubby chaser is a person who will only sleep with fat people. Now that I don't mind, I thrive on that. What I mind is the word chubby chaser, because let me tell you one thing, there's never really a need for a chase.
She's fat, she doesn't run much, you get it?
Yeah. I don't run. So
I told you.
You're right.
I wouldn't even if I could.
I knew it.
Basically, I kind of like the word chubby chaser because it's a word that describes me. Like, I am a chubby chaser. I prefer fat guys. It's fun, mostly because it always gets a bit awkward when I sleep with skinny guys because there's a lot of insecurity. You know, the whole thing where he doesn't like his body and I don't like his body. That's a bit weird.
You thought it was going to be opposite.
But I like my body and I like being fat, and it's taken me quite a while to get there. So it's always it's weird when you meet people who don't know how to deal with it.
She'd
like there's another guy who hit on me, and his way of hitting on me was just so. It's the same guy.
If I said in snap of fingers, I can make you supermodel, skinny, and pretty. But
nope, she doesn't want that. She
doesn't
want that.
You have to pick one person that you've known through time. I don't care if he's a nice guy, asshole, whatever, that has to die.
Been with one of your kind
Kill him.
before.
Oh.
I know. I was like, that is a lot of pressure. Just being chosen as the leader of my people.
Fat people. She's the leader.
Just being the first fat girl he's going to sleep with. Because in that situation, I can't do anything right. Because if I go home with him and I'm good, I'm going to ruin it for the other fat girls. And if I go home with him and I'm bad, I'm not.
She thinks she's good at sex too.
Can I get a spot in this room, please? Like, can I get a 10
Yeah,
minutes?
you need to get on this stage.
Like, right.
She said hello and got a laugh break.
Right. She just
Danish female comics. man.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Boy, that
I
is
didn't even
the
know that was a thing.
that is the definition of what do they call it? I want to remember this. Reduced anxiety performances. I'm actually going to call Ridley's later today and go, so do you guys have any reduced anxiety acts coming to town? Because I'd like to check those out. So did you find the author of this article?
Liam Evans, it looks like.
Liam Evans.
Yeah.
Dork.
Yeah.
Pussy.
Liam. I hear Liam. Black bastard. Take my coin. What is it, a coin?
Kosh.
My Kosh. Where's my Kosh? There's another Liam out there, and he's also a black bastard.
By the way, what came of that? Is he done? Like, is Liam Neeson just done?
Yeah, I think they sent him off somewhere. Yeah, I don't think he's allowed
off to the island that they send these people to
Yeah.
now.
Never to be heard from again.
He's just, which is going to fix everything because he's going to realize the error of his ways, and now he's lost.
There's just a
his career.
place now. You know what I mean? Like an island in the middle of somewhere. Like Australia used to be for like criminals. Now we'll just have an island for the people that they said a racist thing once. Now they're off
Just
here.
a bunch of guys. There's Michael Richards walking in circles, yelling the N-word.
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey just
there.
over there, just picking up 14-year-old boys, and then there he is, Liam Neeson, just fucking black bastard.
They're all on the
Where's Kosh?
island, and all of a sudden, like a
Where's my
helicopter
Kosh?
comes. Like when Mike's like, we do the principal thing. Helicopter comes. They're like, oh shit.
Oh, who's coming in now?
Liam Neeson. Holy shit.
What are you doing? I said black bastard and wanted to kill him. I wanted to kill a black bastard, any one of them. One of those black bastards raped a chick I knew, so I wanted to kill the first black bastard I saw. Was this like last week? No, like 40 years ago. They just heard about it because I told them.
I just wasn't sure of the resolution there, you know.
The dead,
Kinda came
Yeah,
and
he's
went
on his
pretty
island.
quick.
Yeah,
You
he's in
think
his timeout island, I think they call it.
Would they have shipped up the dead bones of John? What was it, John Wayne? I mean, right?
Oh yeah, they dug him up. He's
they
over there
dug
too.
him up and threw him. It's on the island. He's not alive, but
Can you imagine the weight if you're on fucking Timeout Island or whatever, and you're just sitting there, and there's your cast of characters. Louis C.K.'s jacking off in the corner, and Louis C.K. Liam's walking around with his Kosh, looking for any black bastard to hit, and you see the chopper coming. It's like, oh, who's moving in now? And they got bets going on. It's like, Seinfeld, get the fuck out of here! What did you do? There's certain guys you could see it coming.
Right.
Yeah, but like a Liam Neeson, you just don't see it coming.
Oh, dude, he's a famous actor. What the hell could he say? Now, black bastard.
Everybody wants to have that conversation about race, right?
Yep.
Well, there it was.
Well, there was an opportunity. Some would say a missed opportunity, but an opportunity nonetheless. One of these days, all these people that are dying to have the conversation will actually have the conversation when these incidents happen. But till then, we'll just keep blowing the Megyn Kellys out and the Liam Neesons out.
And would Me Too people be on this island? I suppose, right?
Well, yeah, if you fingered someone that didn't want to be fingered, you're going to the island.
What's his name from NBC? He'll be there,
Lauer?
Lauer's there, and
I don't know that was he fingering, or he was just fucking chicks in his office?
Full on. Yeah.
It better be a nice island, man. These guys are used to some premier shit. You know what I mean? You can't just send old Charles whatever. Charlie's Angels. Charlie Rose. Yeah, you can't just dump Charlie Rose off. He's got to have his window.
Needs a terry cloth robe.
His robe.
Thigh high.
He's got to be able to see down into the pool below. Wasn't there something like that he was watching?
Actually, if they were smart, they would just make this island themselves, dude. Get all the billionaires together
not
that
a
have
bad
fucked
idea.
around Me Too and racism, and just get on the island. They can talk whoever they want. They can do whatever they want to do. Just
check out of society.
And then we could vacation there and just like watch them like zoo animals. Just walk around, pay a fortune to go watch.
Would Charlie Rose be walking around in his robe?
Hell yeah, he
his
would.
thing
Of
was?
course he would. Louis C.K. would always be just the gorilla in the corner, Jackson off. Yeah, it'd be great. I want to go to that island. I'm gonna move in.
Hey everybody, it's March. The weather sucks, as you know, but the Tigers have reported to spring training, and every day has a little more sunshine than the last. To celebrate, Zotford and Holly wants to warm the cockles of your heart with their annual $99 payment party. Lease a new fun-to-drive 19 Ford Fusion Hybrid, or lease a new sporty 19 Ford Escape, or lease the new family-friendly performance SUV, a 19 Ford Edge. Your choice. As low as $99 a month. Celebrate the $99 payments and early spring with your friends at Zott Ford and Holly.
Hey, let's take a very quick time out, Jay, and then we've got a couple things. I may have found my new favorite sex offender. I'll tell you the chronological list of his things. And then a guy that tried to pardon himself. Did you read that story?
Yeah, I saw
last
that.
week?
Not an awful move. I'm surprised it hasn't happened before.
Yeah, it's actually a great move, but there's just some basic, rules you got to adhere to. And he kind of Biggie the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll do that and more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. continues now, bitches. Here are Mike and Jay.
All right. Welcome back to the show. Mike and Jake. T-Roy's getting ready to head out in a little bit. He's going to see Bob Weir tonight. Grateful Dead, guitarist. I kind of want to go to that show. I think I'm going to go in Chicago over the summer.
Where's Bob Weir tonight?
I'm not sure, like Fox maybe or
State.
So is it the State?
Yeah.
And they announced the Wings. Did you see that they're having like a Dead night?
Yeah.
Doesn't that seem weird? Like I get it. They do that in San Francisco. You know, they'll have like Dead night because they were all from the Bay Area, and so they'll have like Giants hats with the skull logo and stuff. You know, they'll have certain nights. But Detroit, they have a Dead night with jerseys. Like T-Roy already bought his package. And it gives you like a hockey jersey with the skull.
Oh, really?
The
That's
famous
cool.
like skull with the Red Wing colors and shit. And out at LCA, I thought that was kind of cool, but I'm still trying to figure out what the connection would be here, unless it's just
the Wings are at the point, man, where you got to do theme nights.
Yeah, that's
unfortunately
sad, but
I know,
true.
but
yeah, no, there's those Star Wars nights where they'll have jerseys with like C-3PO version and shit.
But you would think that
It's
is
just
universally
a dumb thing
huge. Star Wars is huge. Like the Dead's a great band, but I would think like an Eminem night or a Kid Rock night or Bob Seger night, like Grateful Dead. I mean, I love it. I love the Dead. I'm a huge Dead fan. Seen them many times. I love them, but you know, it just was like, wow, I wonder what would make that connection with the Red Wings at the Grateful Dead. But maybe it's just that they know there's a fan base. So I don't know. Glad they're doing it, but anyway, I mentioned just before the break, Jay, there was a sex offender. And this guy,
quite a rap sheet, huh?
Well, it's not so much a rap sheet. It's more what he's doing and getting caught doing each time. You know, we're always amazed, like, dude, there's just got to be a better way.
How do you get there, right?
Yeah.
How do you start banging a donkey? What have you done prior?
61-year-old registered sex offender was allegedly caught hiding in the back of a school bus full of kindergartners returning from a field trip. Yep, you heard that right.
That's some good hide and seek. Hide and seek.
Michael Fredericks. And it's just some of the finer details in here, you know, I'm just like, sir, how did you think this was going to play out? Honestly, when you thought this genius plan up, like, how did we think this was going to play out? You know? And what is the end game? You steal a kid out the back of the emergency exit? Is that what
he's not thinking about that, right? He's just thinking about that boner, and he's got to get in there amongst them. He's not worried about the end game.
You're going to see a bit of a pattern here, and I think he needs to change his style because I don't think he's very good at it. His name is Michael Fredericks. He was arrested and released following the incident in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I wonder if he's got a MyPillow. I come on my MyPillow every night.
The duck's warmth actually saved my life because I passed out in the snow.
So you heard the first sentence of the story, right? Where he was found. You guys remember where that was?
It was the back of a school bus filled with kindergartners returning from a field trip.
Wow, very good. Good memory, Jay. He pled guilty to fifth-degree criminal sexual conduct in 2011 related to masturbating on a public school bus near multiple children. I was
everybody has their thing, you know.
Short 8 years. I know. Like, I've finally come around, and it's like, okay, you want to come on a foot? Fine, whatever. Everyone's got their thing. Jacking off at a school bus full of kindergartners.
It's got to be consenting adults.
Mm-hmm. He was also convicted in 2004, engaging in sexual conduct and contact with two 15-year-old male victims, one of whom was the son of a woman he'd once dated. Do you think maybe he was like dating or married to this woman?
He just happened to only
kind of like Michael Jackson was married to Lisa Marie Presley. You know what I mean?
It's a beard.
Yeah, like I think he was more interested in that 15-year-old boy.
That's what I was saying. Maybe what he does is he just, as I was trying to get at, like maybe he only dates like single moms. You know what I mean? And they just think like, oh, this is great being a single mom.
First. I'll bet that's a move. I bet that's a move by these guys.
It's hard to get a guy, you're a single mom. They're like, oh, this is awesome. This guy actually cares about my kids. He's playing with them and everything.
God, dude, I don't want that to be in women's heads. Like, you take on a woman who's, widowed or divorced. She's got a couple young kids. And it's like, is this guy trying to fuck my toddler kids? Is he here for me? Or does he want to get in the butthole of that 3-year-old boy I have? I don't even want that to be a thought when it's I work up the courage to ask some single mom out.
It's actually going through her head as she's like, looking at you.
I think
you're just like, what?
We'll go some coffee, maybe a movie. What do you say? We'll come back, watch a movie with the kids.
You want to get my kid's butt?
Fuck.
As a mother, though, like Mama Bear, you gotta protect those cubs.
I gotta keep an eye on this one for months on end. Make sure he's not trying to creep in my son's butthole.
I'm a single boy.
She's trying to set me up. You know, no, I'll be back in a few hours. Can you watch the kids? She sneaks out the door and comes back 10 minutes later, busts in the room. Aha! I knew you were in his butt. Okay, you're not in his butthole. Good. Carry on. I forgot my keys. Out of here. Comes back a half hour later. I knew you'd find you buried deep in his asshole. Oh, okay, no, you guys keep playing the video game. You're good. You're good. Sorry about that. My bad. And after a while, she would keep doing it.
Why wouldn't she just go to the windows and peer in?
Because I've closed the blinds, E. Duh. Just gonna make it that easy for her. She's gonna have to work a little bit.
But you're not.
Keep her on her toes, E. Keep her on her toes. She doesn't know if I'm playing video games or fucking her kid's asshole. She doesn't know. I'm not gonna give it to her. So anyway, this guy, he's a level 3 sex offender. I hear level 3. Don't you think like, he's just like Googling
Mid-range.
kids? Yeah, like level 1 is
like,
the one you got to watch out for. Don't be fooled. Level 3 is the fucked up one. Level 3 is the guys where they're like, he's considered the highest risk to reoffend.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He was released from prison in April, had completed his required period of supervision. So
I think
he
you're
just
at a-
white-knuckled it for 6 months while people kept a good close eye on him.
If they've decided that you're a highest risk to reoffend,
We're done.
what are we doing?
Yeah, we're done.
What are we doing?
We trade it out. You know, we don't need to add more to the prison population. Take a low-risk drug offending boy from Compton who got thrown in jail 20 years ago. Let him go and put old wax off and school bus guy in there.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Fair trade, right?
Yeah.
Black kid in Compton learned his lesson, doesn't need to sling rock anymore. And this kid's not jacking off on kids anymore.
What's the bigger danger? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Stranger danger. He was spotted in the back of the school bus full of St. Paul Public School kindergartners.
Spotted how? Easily?
Oh, I'll tell you. I'll tell you, because it's just gonna be like, oh fuck, man. He was spotted. That's all we'll say at this point.
Wearing a coat over his head, just like they'll never see me.
There was a parent chaperone, Maggie Zimmerman. She was saying this. Yeah, he's spotted in the bus.
Oh, Mrs. Zimmerman,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry this had to happen.
Yeah. Zimmerman said the parents are horrified and helpless. I don't blame them, while expressing her concern with the criminal justice system that would allow him the opportunity to offend again. In my mind, this whole thing highlights a system that sets people loose again over and over, continually endangering our children.
Yeah, wait. I know they're not going to explain this to you, Mike, but like the bus, you're on the field trip. You get up from the whatever factory you went to see. Every kid's getting back in the bus. Where is he sitting that not one person goes, hey, there's some 4-year-old dude back here.
61.
61
years old.
Like, what? Like,
Well, there were 26 children on board, 4 adults. And when the teachers...
It's loud and noisy, though.
Okay,
I can
okay.
sort of see it if you're just hunkered down in the back and a bunch of kids bored.
So you got 26 children, 4 adults on the bus. When the teacher of Ms. Zimmerman's kindergarten class, her daughter's kindergarten class, noticed Frederick's in the back seat while driving along the Interstate 94 there in Minneapolis.
Back there's just a dude.
I didn't initially see anyone when I looked back, but then I saw a head peek up over the seats and then rushed back down.
it's not funny, but it is.
What a creep.
He was doing that fucking
They
peekaboo.
see me?
He was just what's that thing with that whack-a-mole game?
Yeah.
He was like that. He was just kind of whack-a-mole. He was just poking his head up. And was like, oh, I don't know what's on me. No, you didn't say anything. Is it clear? No, you didn't say anything.
God, the heart. I just feel like it would be racing. Holy hell.
So the bus driver radioed dispatch about an unidentified person on the bus. She had him move to a front seat so she could keep an eye on him. So it's like, you up here. And he's like, oh.
He complied?
He complied. He sat down on the front seat. 61-year-old man, like, sorry, kids. This will,
Oh
my
God,
bad. This
man.
one's on me. This one definitely is on me. What those kids and the fucking 4 adults must have been thinking. Like, wouldn't you want it off your bus and then call the police?
Did he have his panoose out?
I don't know.
What did he
I don't
say?
think he got there yet.
Had to have, right?
Maybe he did. I don't know. So he's sitting there like he's in timeout at the front of the bus. That sucked, dude. He got punishment and had to sit at the front of the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, who would have thought, Michael Fredericks would be, dealing with those types of punishments at 61. So anyways, the driver radioed dispatch about him. She had him move to the front seat so she could watch him. The man asked, "Excuse me, ma'am, would you mind letting me off the bus here? You're passing my stop." He asked multiple times if she would let him off the bus.
That's a good move.
It's not bad.
I mean, why not?
The driver did not let him. So she's like, no. He's like, oh, that was my street. You just passed my
Hey,
street.
no, don't worry about it. We can get the next one.
There's another one coming up right here in the corner. Just stop and lets me out. I'll be good.
I learned my lesson.
Thanks for the ride. He's got a history of being found on unoccupied school buses. Yep, dating back to at least 1996.
What is he doing all day?
When he was found on board one in a bus storage lot.
Just thinking about his boner. It's all about the boner.
In 2004, he was found again on an unoccupied school bus, which is parked at a zoo in Minnesota. Authorities in 2011 said investigations led to Frederick's admitting, all right, I'd like to masturbate on unoccupied school buses, so sue me. Imagine. If he's been caught, what is this, 5 times on a school bus?
Sounded like it.
That's how many times he hasn't been caught, and he's just
yeah.
freely come all over a fucking school bus. He probably sees the number on the bus. You know, they've all got their individual number. He's probably written it down like, every time he goes by, yep, fucking came in that one. He just...
there are people who don't want to do other things. If you want ice cream, you don't go to a barbecue shop.
But here's the problem. There was a mix-up this last time. And Fredericks told the cops that he'd gotten on the wrong bus after having arrived on a different bus. And you can see,
how that
all
very
happens.
Innocent.
Yeah.
Despite his history.
Poor guy. I mean,
this time he didn't have any interest in the kids or whacking off on the bus. This time, legit, he just wanted to ride.
And I'd like to know more. They didn't ask follow-up questions, apparently, the cops. But I'd like to know more about that whole ducking behind the seat and then popping your head up and looking around, like that whole thing just
you'd think
takes a little credibility
if
from
this
your
is
story.
your game, you'd think you'd have a story ready to go to the bus driver should you be caught, right? Because that's not that outlandish that some poor homeless guy or something would be trying to catch a ride. And I just jumped on this bus and then you got going and can you just let me out right here? If they didn't see a Panoose out, if they didn't suspect, like, wow, this dude's a super creeper, the radar's going off, wow, something about this guy, you'd think you'd have it locked down. This is my story. This is how I'm going to present should I be caught.
Yeah.
He can't handle it, though.
But see, here's the problem.
Do we have a picture of this
agree.
dude?
Yeah, you can hear it. You can bing at me. Here's the problem. He lost that opportunity in about 1996 because once you get caught the second time, it's really hard to explain.
This bus driver doesn't know you. You're caught on this bus. You're ordered to come to the front. I'll come to the front. Can you just let me off here? I'm sorry. I jumped on this bus. I'm a stowaway, essentially.
Yeah. No, that's true. I don't know why he wouldn't just that emergency. I mean, it's gonna buzz and beep, and that's obnoxious.
Emergency
exit out the back. Just be like, yeah, go fuck yourself.
Just dump it.
Boom, you run out the back. Or when she goes up here, you're grounded and puts him in the front seat. What's to prevent him just opening that handle?
Pull that big handle.
That big.
We always want to pull that handle. While you're driving.
Every single
big
time.
handle.
Yeah.
Look at him. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
Boy.
He's got a decent hairline, though. I mean, his hair's hanging on nicely. His eyebrows are troubling, but
actually, in general, for a 61-year-old dude, he looks pretty good.
He looks sad. Sad.
I mean,
forlorn.
Yeah, he looks like he's had a rough go lately. I don't know what kind of trouble he's in, but he just got an overall look of
a very recent past. Something happened.
Would you say despair? Does he have an overall look of despair?
Forlorn, yeah, despair.
Yeah. Do you think those eyes recently wept, or is he just like? The pigment on it, because he's very, very blonde. His eyebrows are white. His hair is white. He's got kind of the red eyes.
There's some albinism.
Yeah, it's a touch of albinism, which would make the red seem reasonable.
Those rabbit eyes.
Yeah, so his conviction record suggests that prison has not rehabbed him and that he will continue to do this as long as he is free.
Yeah, I believe that.
Boy, he looks like he's part of the Davis family in Oakland, doesn't he?
Oh, right, with the hairline.
Yeah. I mean,
bowl cut.
If you said that's the son of Al Davis's brother,
yeah,
you know what I mean, like 2 years older, maybe.
It's the pale nature of it, the blonde hair, the cut. Yeah,
the cut.
I see it.
Yeah, is there a touch of pigment in there too? Just a touch, not a lot.
It's a pigment.
Just a little touch of pigment.
I have to hear about this pig man one more time.
Hey, I'm telling you, the pig man is alive.
So yeah, I would like to keep tabs on him and. I would like it if we just ended his life where he's just receiving letters in the mail at jail.
To the Astronom file.
Yeah, keep an eye on old Mr. Fredericks there. Michael Charles Fredericks.
Hey, everybody, you have an annual physical, right? I don't, but you probably do and should. You do that to make sure you're healthy. Well, what do you do each year to make sure that you remain financially fit? Our friend Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial specializes in thoughtful and objective investment guidance designed to keep your finances in shape. Call Mark today, 248-626-2000. Ask for Mark. And of course, we said it before, there's a great opportunity. Give Mark a call. He'll look at your stuff. If you're in where you should be and your financial situation is great and you've got things invested exactly where they should be, he'll tell you that. He'll send you out the door. He'll thank you for your time. But if he has a better idea, he'll tell you that as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's a no cost, no obligation consultation. So why not call Mark?
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
We'll get to some emails in just a sec here, Jay, but I did mention also before the break the guy tried to pardon himself.
Mm-hmm.
I love this idea. You know, this was the dream, like in grade school, going into the computer and changing your grade.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's seen in War Games.
Yes.
The Matthew Broderick film.
Would you have done that had you had the opportunity?
No.
Fuck, I would have in a second. Change a grade or two?
I would have been so scared.
Really?
Yeah, that's the only thing. If there was, I would say if it was a no, the no would be just the fear of getting. I mean,
you'd be terrible at masturbating
having
on a
said
bus,
that,
Jay.
Having said that,
You would. You're just so worried about the possible
man.
downside to jacking off on a bus or changing your grades. Like,
I'm
dude,
wrong.
live a little.
I'm wrong. I'm lying. I realize because I've said it on this show before. I had a thing in 7th grade at the Christian school where I was on the basketball team and I was on the probation. I had to start getting a C average or whatever. And so they were sending my parents, bi-weekly reports or a weekly report, and they're supposed to get signed. And I was forging those signatures for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess I did do it.
Cheating,
so I'm
Is that the same basketball team that you just referenced, the one that you got
Yes.
called into the game, and you were like, holy shit, I'm going to play. I'm basically the manager on this team. I never get to play. Jumped up, run to the scorer's table. You go to whip off your tearaways.
That's not exactly how it went
were
down,
taking the
but
court, I
yes,
thought.
that is how it went. No, what happened was, the coach does the thing like, okay,
Fade
get the
you
check,
in.
get the check in.
Yeah,
I start to pull
you're
out
up
my
by 45.
Yeah,
Right,
This is when
or down by
the
45. We were a
the
pretty
take a knee
terrible
moment
team.
in a football game, right?
The
so you could
Darko
say-
Milica time, yeah.
for sure. But like I started, what really happened was I started to realize, oh shit, I don't got him, and I went to the
You don't have
bathroom to
what?
try to change the
Your
shorts. I didn't have
shorts.
my shorts under my warm ups. I went to the bathroom to change, and by the time I got back, it was obviously
I
over.
thought you didn't even say anything to coach.
No, I didn't.
You
I
walked
did-
onto the
I-
field and you realized and went, oh.
I was too
And-
awkward. I didn't know.
I know. I
yeah.
get it, dude. You hung your head in shame and
I didn't
walked
know
back.
what to say. I felt like an idiot, so I kind of just did it, hoping that I would.
And I
no
think
one would notice.
Your
it.
dad was at that game, right?
He went to a lot of them. I don't know if he was at that one or not, but he did go to a lot of them.
I know.
Eric, where'd you go? Coach was
Called
trying to
your
put you
name,
in.
man.
I'm
I
not sure. It
forgot
was
my
an away.
pants.
It was an away game. He might not have been at that one.
Forgot my darn pants.
This coach goes over to, I could just see the coach going over to his dad, like, what is wrong with your guest? What is wrong with your guest? There's a lot wrong with my guest. He didn't wear his pants right. Yeah, that's happened. No big deal. But so we got this guy. He's faked a pardon letter from the governor's office. It was riddled with errors, though. It's something you just can't fucking do, dude.
Gotta lock it down, man, if you're gonna pull this off.
I never understand this. Like the amount of times I've texted E, especially lately, when he includes something, if it's just him, like, oh my God, I'm watching the birds and sitting up north and in the forest, and he misspells every other word. I don't give a shit. Whatever, that's you. But when he's like, the Detroit cast with Jay and Mike are doing this thing, and it's like boom, 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 and it just looks like a landmine of misspellings went off. I'm like, ease, comma after this word, colon after this word, capital on this
Don't
word.
capitalize the A and J.
Yes. Don't there. You know what? There's a space between, this word and that word. And so I'll make him go in and edit them and correct them because I don't want us tied to those kind of shenanigans. But I'm always, it befuddles me that like he knows this about himself. How do you ever get to the point? How does this guy, like, I'm gonna pardon
He took
myself.
a flyer, man. He took. You're sitting in jail. Like,
you stink though, E, right? At punctuation and spelling. This guy would know, right?
It's
This
worth
guy
a try.
So.
It's worth a try.
I mean, is it possible this guy's had his head filled by lies all this time? Like,
But
dude, you're a
again,
great
Jay's
speller.
But again, Jay's right though. Like he might even. I know I'm a bad speller, but it doesn't mean if he was in this situation, he's not going to still try to be like,
Just
well,
go for it. See what happens.
Like, what would be the harm?
Go to Denny's and run it by the waitress. Hey, man, would you take a look at this?
You think
Did
there
things
would be
look right?
someone that you could ask to proofread it, right?
Yes, there's going to be some idiot
You're
that's
right.
like, dude, you misspelled every other word. What are you doing?
In a situation like this, for what he's trying to do, yes, I would bring it to somebody and be like,
possible he's a moron.
But also maybe
he
he doesn't.
misspelled his own state's name.
Well, the problem is, though, what if he has a bunch of narc friends?
And his
he's
name
gotta
is
have-
Virginia. The state's name is Virginia.
Vagina.
But
And
if
he
has-
misspelled it.
But if he has a bunch of narc friends, he's got to have someone he can trust. You said give it to a waitress. Now he's having this waitress
I'm
be
just
like,
saying there's got to be someone in the community who can proofread your shit before you send it to the governor's
but-
office. That's all.
Yeah.
Or to the, this is crazy too. The coincidence. Authorities issue a warrant for James Justice II. He's 49 years old and can't spell for dick. He's from Nitro, West Virginia. After it was discovered, he allegedly created and sent a fake letter from the West Virginia governor's office that pardoned him for all probation and his past crimes. Every one of them. He pardoned all of them. Aside from the fact that the governor's office said that the actual governor, James Jim Justice II, same exact name as the guy, is a remarkable coincidence. The men shared that same name, had not, in fact, granted a pardon for the Nitro Man. Complaint noted that the forged document contained multiple errors and inconsistencies. Among the obvious were the spelling errors, including West Virginia was misspelled in the letterhead. The office's phone number was handwritten, and the letter in general was rife with grammatical and punctuation mistakes. Justice II's forged document had 2 fake West Virginia seals on it. Just about the only thing that the letter writer appeared to have managed to do semi-decent job of was forging the governor's signature.
I give him credit for even thinking there's a seal on it, you know?
Yeah. And
he tried. He tried, Mike.
It's just so frustrating. It's like, dude, I love the passion. I love the go get it.
The execution's so bad.
It's just so. It's like, dude, it's 1 second on a big machine. Current West Virginia seal. You know, it's like, oh, it's that one. And say you take a flyer on guessing it, right? You take a flyer. You don't put 2 different ones in the fucking letter.
Right.
One of them's right. Well, yeah, the other one's definitely wrong then.
Can't go wrong if I put both in here.
Well, one of them's going to be right. I got it.
It's a good
I
move,
got
actually.
it.
The city's name is really Nitro?
Nitro,
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, his execution just sucks. And it's like, I would have liked to have seen how far he could have gone with this. Could he have gotten away with this if not for his own, bumblingness?
The city was named after the American ammunition production facility during World War I.
Wasn't there a TV show that featured a guy named Nitro? Like it was like that Saturday morning
cartoon?
No. It was like it was like you'd run the gauntlet and you'd have these 2 bodybuilders.
Oh, right, dude. Yeah, American Gladiators had a Nitro.
Oh, there was a Nitro in that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, that was a dope show too.
It was. It was really cool.
Try to get by him. He's got the Puget.
I wanted to be
stick,
on
Pugil sticks.
American, like, I wanted to run through that stuff so bad. Like, maybe not be on the show necessarily because I knew I wouldn't do good.
Yeah.
But like if I could have if you could have let me go in on a Saturday.
Oh, I wanted so badly to do the obstacle course on Superstars.
Oh, are you shitting me? You like from the 80s when OJ was on there?
On ABC, whatever it was, Wide World of Sports. That would have been awesome.
I'd rather do the fucking American Gladiators thing, I think, than the
hitting the head and all that shit. No.
Well, I don't know if I want
the
them
jousting
there
one
when
or something. I remember wanting to do that, where you'd be up on the poles and they'd be hitting each other.
That's what you're talking about, the Pugil sticks.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted, because you had to just get by him, right?
Yeah, but then you got another guy, right? That's the whole thing. You're running the gauntlet of all these gladiators.
Yeah.
And they were big. Even the chicks.
Maybe it's the Nickelodeon show that I wanted to do.
Oh, Guts?
No, where they slime you.
Oh, you wanted to get slimed. I
wanted
wouldn't.
Double Dare?
Double Dare. I wanted to run the Double Dare thing.
Dude.
We dive into the pie. And
that's what you're thinking of, Mike, maybe.
No, I wanted to do Nitro, but the more I think about it, and you guys are steering me away from it, for good reason.
Double Dare was
fucking
fucking tits, too.
Yeah, Double Dare would have been awesome. You'd pick his nose and pull stuff up like flags out of there.
I haven't thought of that in years.
Yeah.
Yeah, the notion of obstacle courses was a big deal back then. But they have that one American Ninja, right? Is that what it's called? American Ninja Warrior?
Yeah.
See, that's like serious. I like when Mike's talking about it, I like something where more like you're dumping into pies and shit and you're trying to find a flag.
Yeah, the flags, man. And when you'd see that flag come up out of the pudding, whatever, it was like, yes. Oh, it was like a dad and his boy. Like Ian, you and your dad would have been on there.
Didn't everybody have to wear helmets and shit?
Oh, hell yeah. Elbow pads, knee pads.
Yeah, those families standing. Family Double Dare.
Dude, it's the best. I love Double Dare, to be honest with you.
Dude, I could have totally seen you and your dad fucking around on
I
Double
wanted
Dare.
to be. We went to we went down to Nickelodeon one time, and we weren't in the background or anything, but I just remember like
you were on set. You saw it?
No. We just like took the tour of Universal, and that's where Nickelodeon was, and it was just like I just remember going, oh my god, I just want to.
I
gotta go.
Fucking,
I want to be
right
in that
down
pudding.
there. It's right down there.
Why didn't you just bolt? Just kind of creep to the back of the line and then just fucking make a run for it, man.
I don't know, but I wanted to.
Anyway, do we have time for any emails?
We'll save the rest for tomorrow.
All right, sorry guys. We'll definitely do emails tomorrow. And tomorrow I want to show you, Jay. You may have seen it. The Brazilian bodybuilder, and the Iranian giant challenge each other to a fight.
No, I've not seen it.
I'll say that for tomorrow because these guys. Exceptional. Yeah, the look on these dudes. So anyway, we'll do that and more tomorrow. See you guys then.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.